If you're watching this video, you're probably curious how to gear up your character in the fastest way possible. Or maybe you're someone that doesn't really care about speed, you just want to know how to gear up your character, period. There has never been this many options or activities you guys can do in an expansion to gear up your character than there is in The War Within, so I can see why it can be a little confusing for some people. So I'll be breaking this down step by step from the beginning when you guys hit max level, all the way up to getting 606 and even 616 item level gear and beyond. I want this guide to stretch out all through Season 1, so that way if you guys are watching this in a few months from now, this video is still going to be viable. So as soon as you hit max level, which is 80 in The War Within, you've got a couple of options, and they all just really depend on how much money you want to spend. Now, you don't have to spend anything if you don't want to, but the quickest way to gear up is going to be definitely taking a visit to the auction house and buying a bunch of item level 560 gear, which is on the Explorer track. You can then upgrade this gear all the way up to 580 with Valor Stones. Now again, if you guys are just a fresh level 80, you probably don't have a lot of Valor Stones, which is totally fine. In that case, the next best thing you guys want to do is do world quests. Typically, there's always a few rewards coming from world quests that are going to grant you some gear, and the item level of this gear that you get from world quest rewards scales up as your item level goes up, and that can take you all the way up to 571 item level. You've also got the option of buying Dark Moon deck cards off the auction house, which is a trinket. These are going to be 577 item level, however, it's just going to vary depending on how expensive they are. The next option you have is to grind normal dungeons. Now this is going to be a surefire way to get gear that you guys can just endlessly do forever if you really want to. The item level you get out of the normal dungeons is going to be 554. If it was me personally, I would just spam normal dungeons until my item level is high enough to start doing heroic dungeons. The rewards you get out of heroic dungeons is going to be dropping 571 gear, which you can upgrade all the way up to 593 with using Valor Stones and Weathered Crests. The next thing you want to do every week is going to be doing the weekly caches, and these are going to reward you with 574 gear, which you can upgrade all the way up to 593. Another really good option early on is going to be getting some gear from the Renown rewards. Now, this is not something that you guys have to do, it's just, something if you're doing all the quests, you're probably going to be at levels 6 through 7 in the different factions, but some of them offer some 571 gear or even 578. Another really good way to getting some awesome gear is going to be from crafting. With the help of some enchanted weather crests, you'll be able to get some 590 gear crafted if it's crafted at rank 5, which is going to be pretty good. It just depends on whoever's making it. And a little bit later, you'll be able to use the Spark of Omens, which is combining the two fragmented Spark of Omens. And with that, you'll be able to have someone craft some 606 gear. Keep in mind that the sparks are obtained weekly, so that's going to vary depending on how far you are into the season. The next option to get some gear is going to be from the Delve system. If you guys go into Delves and you guys spam the tier 3 Delves, you'll be able to get gear that's going to be at 571 item level, and you'll get even better rewards if you do the Bountiful Delves and use the restored coffer keys to unlock the chest. Do keep in mind though that I would not use any of your restored coffer keys until you get to tier 8. Now the reason why you want to hold on to these coffer keys is because when you guys get to tier 8 in the Delve system, that's going to be the highest tier that you can get the best or highest item level rewards out of them. You won't be getting any better rewards after tier 8 in the Delves, so anything above at tier 8 is just going to be for bragging rights or for completionists. Now, the Delve system is actually really cool because it's an actual legit way to get some gear just by playing by yourself, so for those solo players out there, Delves are a really awesome option. Your next source of gear is going to be from Mythic 0 dungeons. In these ones, you'll be able to get gear that's item level 580, so that's really cool. And the nice thing about this time around is the Mythic Zeros actually can be farmed every single day versus what they were back before this, where you could only do all the dungeons once per week. So you guys will definitely be able to do these a lot more, which is really cool. Now, just a fair warning, if you guys want to be doing Mythic Zeros right from the get-go when you hit level 80, it's going to be really hard to do this because people are going to be pretty strict on your item level. So unless you got friends or guildies, then I would kind of slowly progress and get a little bit of an item level before you get into these. Otherwise, if you got friends, just go right into these. Speaking of Mythic Dungeons, let's talk about Mythic Plus. So here's a chart of what all the different keystone levels are and what the item level of said reward is. So at the very top, at a +2, at the end of the dungeon, you have a chance of getting 597 gear, which is going to be Champion 1 track. And then also you'll have a chance of getting some 606 gear from your Great Vault for doing that. And same thing as a +3. The only difference here is the Great Vault item level changes. And then if you go all the way down to a +10, the end of dungeon is going to be 613. And then also from the Great Vault, 623 item level, which is on the Myth track. So the bottom line here, if you guys want to get the maximum potential for, highest item level gear, you definitely want to be running plus 10s or get, as many 10s done every week you can, so you can get, that many more options in your grade vault on a Tuesday. And then the last way to get some gear in this game I feel like is probably the hardest one, and that's going to be the raid. So here again is another chart showing you all the different versions of the raid. You got LFR, normal, heroic, and mythic. And this is going to show you guys what the potential item level from, the different types of bosses are going to be dropping. So obviously, if you want to get the best gear possible out of this game, you're going to have to get into the mythic raids. And I get it, yeah, it's really easy to say, hey, just get into the mythic raids and kill the bosses, right? But no, not everyone is a mythic raider, so I totally understand that. So I know I just gave you guys a bunch of different ways to earn gear in this game, but I will say this, my best piece of advice I can give you is to try to fill out the grade vault as much as you possibly can. That's going to be a really good way to always make sure that you got a really good upgrade waiting for you every Tuesday in that grade vault. So if you guys got something out of this video or you just found it entertaining, please subscribe to my channel. I covered content for World of Warcraft and other types of games out there, so chances are there's probably something on my channel that you guys will enjoy. If I missed something that you guys think should be in this video, please let me know in the comments section so other people can check those out. Thanks so much for watching. I'm StillSolo, and I'll see you guys in the next one.